Yes. And, Jerry, in my career, I've tried to stay in the middle of the road as much as I can, a safe position. And I look at these other views and I find myself pushed over toward the young earth creation view. And I have been delighted to find out that there's lots of colleagues, there's lots of support all around the world. Young earth creation has just a number of tenets or parts to that view. For instance, the young earth view would say that Genesis chapters 1 and 2 are literal narrative history. They're not metaphor, they're not just stories, they're history of how it started. And I know some people bring up and talk about apparent conflicts between Genesis 1 and 2, but those conflicts go away when you look closely at the verses. So, not that we take all of Scripture literally, there certainly is poetry and other things in Scripture, but that beginning point is how it started, and God was the only one there, and He's telling us, so that's how it begins. Genesis 1 and 2 are literal. Our view would also be that Adam and Eve were not animals that turned into people. They were not some kind of hominids. Adam and Eve were fully human. They were real people. They were our first parents, created as adults with built in memory and language. And we all came from Adam and Eve. In fact, we started over again with Noah's family. So we take, again, that part of scripture seriously. Part of young earth creation would be that biological change does occur, but it's limited. Every year we come up with different types of corn that we're growing up here in Indiana, different genetic varieties, but the corn stays corn. And likewise, there's different strains of cats and dogs that they come up with by their genetic breeding, but the cats stay cats. And so there are changes occur, but they're not unlimited. You hit the wall after a while, how much things can change. You might say that things can change in a micro level, but not a macro level. And it gets a little hard to define that. And there's often an assumption that, okay, if you can come up with different types of corn, then give it a million years and it'll be something completely different, like a macroscopic evolutionary change. But no, things change just so much and no more. So anyway, that's a limit on biological change. We're just talking about the tenets of literal creation. And another one that we've already mentioned would be, in our view, the Genesis flood was the greatest catastrophe that this earth has ever experienced. And the evidence is all around us. And it is, you can see it in our national parks and you can see it in our landforms, whether you're in Alabama or wherever you are,